Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys tonight, guys and gals. Welcome back to Jus Piddlin BBQ Live, the weeknight show. Good to see all of you. Robert, first one in tonight. Good to have you. Mark, Harley, good to see you, brother. RJ's cooking again. Good to see you. Steven, good to see you, man. Hope you're feeling good. Good to see all of you. We'll wait a few minutes just to get a couple more in here. Mark going. Good to have you tonight. Got a pretty good little show for you tonight. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Southern Grilla Barbecue, good to have you. Good to see some cooler weather for a change. Almost time for some fire in the fireplace. Brock Stewart, good to have you. And a little coffee.
And chili.
Stevens in Jackson, Mississippi. John, good to have you tonight from a cool night in South Dakota. I bet it is cool in South Dakota. Just watched some road rage in the parking lot here in Jacksonville. That's cool. As long as you weren't in it. Dave Lewis, good to have you. Mr. Earl, good to have you. Smoker Joe Barbecue, Gary, good to have you tonight. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. We got a pretty good little crowd here tonight. Getting ready for some baseball. I hear you. Watch from the tailgate. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. What size is my Piddlin banner? That's a good question. It is a 3x8, 3 foot by 8 foot. And I have grommets. There's 6 grommets, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. Banners on the cheap is where I got it. And they did excellent. There's different packages, but I checked the premium vinyl and everything, and it's better for printing on and stuff, custom stuff. But I love it. I love it. I'll probably order another one before too long just to have another one. Never have too many. Canadian Jim, good to have you tonight. 39 degrees right now in Sioux Falls, Idaho. Edward's sister's hands. I hear boxers are good for printing on. Here we go. Austin, good to have you tonight.
Hey, Austin.
Good stuff. All right, channel update real quick. 5,213. So over the 5,200 mark, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Give you a kind of a rundown of what we're going to talk about tonight, and then we'll get started. Please don't forget, hit that thumbs up if you will. And if you're not a subscriber,
South Dakota.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Isn't there a Sioux Falls, Idaho? Yeah, I'm sure there is. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. Share it and all that stuff. I appreciate it. Topics tonight. We're going to have a discussion about grills, specifically Gaucho and Santa Maria style grills, and you'll see why here in just a minute. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about some possible YouTube opportunities that I might have coming up. And we're going to talk a little bit about give you a little bit of an insider feel for what it's like to be a YouTube content creator, and a couple of things that we have to consider. One of them is going to end up being a mild change with the live stream. So you want to stay tuned for that. I want to tell you about that a little bit. And a couple other things that are either concerns or pet peeves or just things that content creators, I think, have to consider. And I just felt like sharing that with you guys, kind of give you a different perspective maybe, and kind of let you in from my side for a little bit. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. So Let's see. Austin, have you seen the new Masterbuilt charcoal grill that sort of works like a pellet grill? I have not, I don't think. Now, is it a pellet grill or is it a charcoal grill? I did see one that's a charcoal grill that's gravity fed, but it's got a controller kind of like a pellet smoker. I don't know if that's it or not. Gregor, good to have you tonight. Good to have you tonight, sir. That's it. Yeah, I did see that. It's kind of neat, but it's kind of weird. Uh, be interesting to see how well it works and how accurate it is. And I'll throw that into the conversation here in just a minute. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Those Gaucho Santa Maria style grills. Some insight into what it's like to be a YouTube creator, and just from my perspective anyway. And that's coming from a conversation I had with another YouTube creator this week that was kind of interesting on a couple of different fronts. And something that I learned that I didn't know that I should consider and is going to affect the live streams a little bit. But first, let's get to the grilling part, because this is Jus Piddlin BBQ, and I know that's mostly why y'all came to listen in on is more barbecue stuff. Although I think y'all do enjoy some of the other stuff too, and I do too. So, but let's get into it. First of all, the mailbag. Huge, huge, huge mailbag today. It wouldn't quite fit in the mailbox. If you pay attention to my Instagram page and Facebook page, if you don't, I'd really like for you to get on Instagram and Facebook and like my pages and stuff, because I put a lot of information and pictures and stuff on there. But today, while I was at work, my son was here. Semi truck pulls up and drops off a Nuki Delta version Gaucho style grill. And so I was excited to get home, and the box is under the carport. And, you know, when you watch something on YouTube, for example, or see pictures of something, for example, you kind of have an idea of what it might be, but it's really hard to tell, you know, as far as quality goes, as far as weight goes, as far as all that stuff goes, you know. And this kind of reminded me of when I got my Silverbac. You know, I had never seen one in a store. They're not in stores, you know. I had to go off what other people said and stuff like that. And in my mind, I had in mind that it was going to be like some other ones that I had actually felt, you know. To my pleasant surprise, it was a lot better. And so this Gaucho grill, I've never seen one before. I had only seen pictures and videos. And I had in mind what I thought it might be like, you know, to put when I actually put my hands on it. But pleasantly surprised, it's way more than I thought it was going to be. Way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Way better built than I thought it was going to be. And I want to say this too, right off the bat, and this is going to lead me into the YouTube creator type stuff here in a little bit. But full disclosure, I did not purchase it. It was purchased for me by someone, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But extremely grateful and extremely humbled that I get to share this with all of my subscribers on my channel, because it's something that you don't see very often. And it's a great opportunity to show something different. When I was me and Brandy both were wheeling it to the backyard, to the cool deck back here, I was thinking to myself, you know, there's probably not too many people in my town that have pellet grills, probably, but there's probably a few. There might be a couple of ceramic grills in the area. You know, there might be a pit barrel cooker or two in the area. I doubt there's any Watchman stoves in the area, but there's no doubt in my mind nobody has one of these Nuki Gaucho grills sitting in their backyard. And so that was pretty cool, pretty proud of that, and thankful for that. And that's really all I can say about it. But so with that being said, let's get into the grill a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to cook on it. I'm going to tell you guys about it and all that stuff. Again, I shared Justin Stanley. Thank you, brother. There it is. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Holly says he has 3 of them.
So obviously you're going to get to see it in action here on the channel and all that stuff. Only the second one that I've seen on YouTube. John, good to have you tonight, John. Dogfather, good to have you, man. I think it's going to be a blast, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But I'm going to. The first video is probably going to be this weekend, obviously, because I can't wait to use it. I may use it tomorrow just to play with it a little bit, but let me say this first. I already said I'll trade you for it. He's always trying to Jew me down, trying to trade something or do something. But the first cook video will probably be on it this weekend. Let me say a couple things about it. First of all, the first thing that I thought when I saw it, because I had no idea what it was until I had to look it up. The first thing that I thought was mine and Harley's daddy would love it, because what it is a compact version of how daddy used to cook whole hogs and stuff like that. You know, him and my Uncle Marvin, they would cook whole hogs every now and then. And so they'd have a 55-gallon drum, and they would drill holes and put some rods through the bottom about a foot or two above the ground. And that would be their grate for their wood. They'd build a fire in that, and then all the hot coals would fall to the bottom, and they'd cut a hole out of the bottom so they could fit a shovel in there, and they would shovel the hot coals from there under a big old bed frame that they had wired up and had the whole hog on. And so they built the fire, the hot coals fell to the bottom, they'd shovel them from there. That was their heat source. This is the same thing, except it's all in one unit. You build a little fire over there, the hot coals fall down, and then you've got a little tool that you can rake the hot coals over under your food. And it's got a little handle that you can raise and lower that grill grate. And that's how you control the temp, along with how you choose to arrange your hot coals. And you're cooking with real wood, or you can use lump charcoal. So this is going to be the second cooker that I have that obviously can use lump charcoal or real wood, like the Watchman Stove. But this has a whole different dynamic to it. It also has a thing underneath. There's fire bricks in it. So when those heat up, they're going to hold some heat. And there's a drawer underneath the cooking surface that is like a warming station that you can put stuff in there and keep it warm while you cook the other stuff on top. So it's going to be really cool. That's right. And I'm brutal at Spanish, but it's called a bracero or something like that. That's where your fire is. I've done a lot of research on it, but some of the names I'm not going to attempt to pronounce because I'll butcher it. But that's where you start the fire, and then you get your hot coals from there, rake them over underneath, and it's going to be a really cool experience. That's the kind of stuff that I love doing. And you're more interactive with the cook than just setting something and sitting back and chilling. And it's something that you can really get more involved in and participate in. Plus, this time of year, it's starting to cool off. And now when you're outside, this is one of those cookers that you can still get involved with, because the heat from the fire and the coals, they're going to keep you warm while you're out there cooking. It's just going to be a great experience. And it's a conversation piece on top of that. You know, everybody can stand around it while you're cooking and have some drinks, you know, and you're listening to some tunes, and it's just a conversation piece while you've got people over to your house. So it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be a blast. And again, I think mine and Harley's daddy would have loved it. I think it's really cool. Second part is way better built than I expected it to be. I expected it to be quality, obviously, because it's not a cheap piece of cooking equipment, but Nate had somewhere to go, so it was just me and Brandy, and it was all we could do to pick it up and put it on the stand. Casters are great. Everything's great. Now, another YouTube channel has one, and Big Lou Barbecue. And if you hadn't checked out Big Lou, go check him out. Big Lou, Lew Barbecue. But he got one. And like I think he was missing. He was just one of those fluke deals, I guess. But the packaging was a little different than the one that I got, and he was missing the hardware for the casters. I wasn't missing anything, and the packaging on mine was different. Mine had a hard shell cardboard box over it that slid off, and then it had a wooden crate built around it with a top screwed on top. Everything was bubble wrapped and plastic wrapped. Everything was wrapped really well, neat, clean looking. Or maybe I got lucky, I'm not sure, but really happy with all of it. Everything was packaged really well. All the hardware was there. Nothing was really damaged. Just a real easy experience, except for you're going to have some help with it. But everything went together really well. And it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful looking grill. It's got a wood shelf on the bottom. The wood is really beautiful, and just really pleased with it. So, but yeah, Greg, good to have you tonight. It's an Argentine grill. And so that's kind of the first topic, because the first thing I thought of, and these kinds of grills are really making a surge, it seems like lately. And, you know, a lot of people are doing the Santa Maria style grills and the Gaucho grills. Well, I got to think, well, what's the difference between a Gaucho grill and a Santa Maria style grill? So I looked it up and I tried to find different things. And it seems like it's one of those topics where you can really you really can't find a definite, clear answer. It's kind of like a little gray area. Everybody has their own opinions, but for the most part, it seems like they're mostly the same concept, at least, except some are Argentinian, some are from I think Uruguay, and some are, you know, you've got your American versions. But, you know, some of them obviously operate from a cable system, and you've got a wheel that you turn and the cable lifts the grill grate. And on this one, this is more of it's not a cable, it's more of a stationary rod that goes on a wheel, and it's got a handle on the side that's got little notches, and that notch is what stops the grill grate from falling down. And so, but for the most part, the concepts, Gauchos, Santa Maria styles, are pretty much the same, except the Argentina style grills have that part on the side where you start your fire. You can keep a fire going the whole time and keep that charcoal, that red coal bed going as a reserve over there if you need it. And also the other difference that I saw was some of them the grill grates are even slanted, and they're more of an angle iron, but the angle is turned upside down, if that makes sense, so that all the drippings from the meats channel down that angle because it's slanted forward, and then it's got a little grease trap, almost like a one of the Blackstone griddles where it has like that grease trap in the front. Very similar, except the grill grates are slanted toward the front, and then all the grease drips toward the end to prevent flare-ups from the grease hitting on the hot coals. So that's really there were some minor differences here and there, but it seemed like for the most part they were all the same. It just depended on what area, what region you were from as to what you called it, but really cool. I love the simplicity of it, and I love and it also reminds me of braai cooking, from South America or South Africa, Australia, those kind of outback style cooking as well. So I think it's going to be really fun. I'm excited as I can be about it. Again, it's something different. I've done the pellet grills a ton, pit barrel cooker, Kamados, and that kind of thing. But this is something totally different. And this is the kind of stuff that I really get excited about. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Very thankful that I can do that and have the opportunity to do that. So again, very appreciative. Are you going to do a suckling pig on it? Me and Sandy talked about that today. I just picked up Harley picked up a Traeger extra large yesterday, and he's thinking about doing one. I'm not sure if it would be tight to fit that suckling pig on that rack. I don't know if it'll fit or not, but there's going to definitely be some cool cooks on it for sure. But really excited about it. Again, if you haven't seen it or checked it out, haven't seen it, check it out on my Instagram page and my Facebook page. I shared several pictures of it on there. And really, really cool. And it also came with a little ash shovel and, your little tool for your coals, as well as a very, very good quality cover along with it as well. And it covers it from the top all the way to the ground. So really cool stuff. So really excited about that. Big Lou had problems after problem at first, but he says he loves it. Yeah, I saw his, and I mean, the packaging was, well, I've got pictures of the packaging, so you can look at the packaging. It was perfect. It looked nothing different than the one that Big Lou got, and I don't know why that is, but anyway, it came from Argentina. It got here and came from Miami, and
I think it said it was Louisiana, from Louisiana to Miami.
Louisiana, Miami to Jacksonville, and then here. So really cool. Small Town Smoker, good to have you tonight. So now all of that brings me to the next topic real quick. I kind of wanted to share this with you guys a little bit because sometimes I just like sharing with you, give you kind of an insight of a YouTube creator perspective of things a little bit. And also I want to share with you because this is going to affect the live streams that I do a little bit. Not for most of you, because most of you are catching the live part of it. So it really won't affect you much. But I just want you to be aware of it. So me and another YouTube creator were talking this past week about a couple of things, and some of the stuff that we were talking about may lead to some pretty good opportunities for me in the next couple of weeks or so. Nothing's concrete yet, but we'll see how that goes. But You know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But we were talking about that topic, and then this grill came up, the Gaucho grill came up, and we started talking about that topic a little bit. And the first thing that I want you guys to know is this. And you have to remember too that at one point I was not a YouTube creator. I was a YouTube watcher and subscriber. That's how I got started watching videos. I remember watching some of Greg's videos 3-4 years ago, and learning how to do things. But I would watch other channels and I would think, man, you know, and at that point, let me say I had one gas grill out there that I had had for 9 years. I'd look at some of these channels and I would think, man, you know, how do these guys get all these grills? You know, it must be nice, you know. And I'd almost, in some ways, it would kind of irk me a little bit because I didn't understand their side of it. And now I've been on both sides. But I want to, and this is the point that I want to make. There is a fine line here. And so the way that I have tried to do my channel is to let it be what it's going to be. I'm just going to do my thing, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And if an opportunity comes my way, then it was meant to be, and it was because people like what we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the way I've tried to do my channel. In my opinion, that's the right way to do your channel. However, and this is the conversation me and the other person were having, was there are YouTube creators out there, and I'll just keep it towards the barbecue community, that are constantly in it for the free stuff. And they're, you know, they'll contact this company. Hey, why don't you send me some stuff? They'll contact that company. Hey, why don't you send me some stuff? Everybody that anybody knows, hey, why don't you send me some free stuff? There's going to be a creator that sees one of my first videos with this grill, and they're going to try to contact that company and try to get one. I promise you it's going to happen. I don't do that. If something, an opportunity comes my way, it's just because somebody thought enough of what I'm doing on my channel to try to make that opportunity happen. And this is what bothers me about it, is the content creators that are constantly asking from everybody about stuff end up giving the guys that don't do that a bad name. You know, there are going to be people and there are going to be companies that eventually are going to just assume all content creators, oh, that's another YouTuber wants something for free. You know what I mean? And that's not the case for, I would say, the majority of content creators, at least in the barbecue area. But what they don't realize is they're hurting other content creators by doing that, by everybody they meet, by every large to small company that they see that has anything to do with barbecue. If they can get it for free, then they want it, you know. And I just don't want to. I don't want to be that, you know. And so you guys know, however, that I try to be as a straight shooter as I can be, right? And I think that comes off in my videos, and that's what I want it to be about, not about the stuff. You know what I mean? So, and every time something happens on the channel where a new product comes on the channel or something, I try to be right up front with you guys and let you know where it's coming from and that kind of stuff, you know. So that was the first interesting topic that came up was that. And I don't look the same on iPad as you do on the 65 inch. Yeah, I'm probably a lot thinner on that iPad, Stephen.
He's in.
Oh, he's in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And Harley, he's in Jacksonville, Florida. He's down there doing cooks and talking to people about grills and stuff like that down there in Jacksonville, Florida. So be safe down there, brother. Dogfather, I don't know what Harley's talking about, but whatever it is, don't believe it. It's
No,
totally
he asked a
false.
question.
So just kind of be aware of that. I don't want to be that guy, and I'm not that guy. So just want to throw that out there. Secondly, we got to talking about the live streaming. Now, I want you guys to understand the YouTube, being a YouTube creator, and Greg, if you got something to add, please do, because you've been doing it a lot longer than I have. But being a YouTube creator is not as simple as I'm going to film a video, I'm going to put it out there, and if people see it and watch it, that's good, or they may not watch it. But it's not as simple as that, because YouTube puts their hands on it, and they can manipulate your video however they want to. And they can set algorithms that can impact whether or not people even see your video. Just because you put your video out on YouTube doesn't mean it's as visible as someone else's video that they just put out there on YouTube. For example, and I had not thought about this about the live streams, but now I'm going to have to think about it some. During this live stream right here, if I do a regular video, it may be 10 to 15 minutes long, mostly. So most of the time, people are pretty much going to watch the whole thing, or at least 80% of the whole thing, I hope. And that looks good on my channel. If this live stream is an hour long and the majority of you watch 80% of the live stream, that looks good on my channel. It puts favor on my channel. And YouTube can see that in a certain algorithm. But, and I didn't think about this and didn't realize this, if I keep this live stream up on a replay after the live stream's over, say tomorrow it's still up, and I'll use my brother, for example, because I know it won't hurt his feelings. Harley goes to watch it tomorrow, and it's an hour long, and he doesn't care about the channel update and doesn't really care about the rundown of what we're going to talk about. So he fast forwards through that part. And then we talk about the Gaucho grill, and then he fast forwards another 10 minutes down the road. And so before it's over, in that 60 minutes, he only watched 8 minutes of it. So in other words, for a 1 hour live stream, he watched it in 8 minutes, is what it looks like to YouTube. And that looks bad on my channel. And so that can start affecting whether or not they suggest my video to other viewers, which brings my viewership down, which hurts my channel ultimately. And I had not thought about that. Dogfather or Greg, any of you YouTube guys, if you have any experience with that or have heard of that, give me your input too. But so I think what I'm going to do is every live stream that I do, I'm going to keep it up for 24 hours, because I still want people that want to watch my live streams but can't catch it live. I still want to give them an opportunity to watch it, especially the morning shows, because I know that at 7 a.m. Eastern, those guys out in California are not going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Jus Piddlin BBQ's live stream. And I don't expect them to. So I want to keep it up so that they can catch it whenever they can. But I think I may only keep it up about 24 hours and then I'll shut that one down. So, Greg, we were discussing this whole live stream thing with CJ last week at Vid Summit. By we, I mean me, Cosmo, Justin. We suggest that he make them private or unlisted. Yeah. So I think what's going to happen is from now on, I'll keep them up for 24 hours just to give everybody a chance to see them. And then I'll just put them private. That way it's not available to the public anymore. Nobody's skipping through 75% of it and bringing my watched minutes down, or however YouTube sees it, whatever they want to call it at this particular time. It changes, it seems like, from month to month. Sometimes I wish they would just leave it alone. You constantly have to be almost researching YouTube algorithms to try to figure out what they're doing and how they're doing it and what is influencing how many people view your videos, so on and so forth. It's almost, I don't know, sometimes I think, obviously they're in it for money, obviously. But sometimes I think they make it harder on the creators because the things that they do, the algorithms that they come up with, is so private. I mean, it's almost impossible to get an answer from anybody that has anything to do with YouTube as far as those algorithms and all that stuff. So, but anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys because it's probably going to affect a little bit of the live streams as far as how long they stay up, but I wanted you to understand why. Because ultimately, if I can get, my channel to be suggested by YouTube as much as possible, then obviously I want to try to do that. So that's kind of what's going to go on behind that. So
Stephen asked if you did a reveal in the assembly video.
I didn't do a reveal and assembly video because Big Lou had already done that. He did the whole reveal thing and did a pretty good job of the assembly part. And so I didn't see a point in doing that again. But when I do my first cook on a video, I'll kind of touch on all of the highlights of the grill and everything and what you can do with it and the parts and all that stuff as I'm cooking on it. I figured that would probably be the best way to do it. There are a lot to the inner workings of YouTube that I definitely need to learn. And I'm still learning, when you kind of figure out that this is becoming a little bit more than just a hobby, which is kind of the point that I'm at now. I've got to start treating it more than just a hobby because it's taking up more time than just being a hobby. And so when you start doing that, you want to try to keep up with, okay, well, how can I make my channel better? And how do I get my channel seen more? But a lot of it depends on YouTube. And if you don't know that you might be doing something that's holding your channel back, how are you supposed to fix it? And so I really believe that there's a lot of creators out there that are doing things that they don't know is holding them back. How are they supposed to know? And I'm sure I'm probably doing some of that too, but just wanted to share that. Maybe it'll help, maybe it'll help you as well with stuff like that. And I'm having Daryl Eves to a personal consult for me on my channel. And he's a great resource. I watch his videos a lot. Sometimes
You need to learn how to spell my name right, Harley.
sometimes he's a little he gets a little long-winded, and he gets a little more in-depth in the YouTube stuff, and it ends up going over my head as far as that goes. So um, I need a blue collar version of Daryl Eves and stuff that I should do, and I don't do the promotion stuff like I should. All the time on Facebook, promote this post, or Instagram, promote that post. And, part of me wants to do that stuff. And then the other part of me says, is it really going to be worth it? I don't know. So, I just try to do the best that I can with what I have. And, slow and steady wins a race, I guess, but I'd rather it be fast and steady. So, what in the world? Rick's Barbecue and Specialty, good to have you tonight. And Gregor, she is a wonderful wife. I don't know many people that would have helped, many wives anyway, that would have helped me pick up that Gaucho grill and put it on that stand.
That thing was so heavy.
It was heavy.
It was heavy.
I'm really impressed with that thing. The fire bricks, what I want to see is how well those bricks hold the heat, and how that's going to affect how much coals that I have to have under the meat. That's going to be fun to mess with. There's going to be, I'll have to stock my cooler pretty good, because those cooks will be long, I'm afraid. Or actually, I'm kind of happy about. If other channels go to our videos and jump through it just so they can leave a comment, it does major damage. Yeah. I wish there was a way to prevent that, but there's not. I wish there was a way to prevent that, but there's not. That I know of, anyway. Currently making all my live session videos unlisted. If it is unlisted, you can watch it if you have the link. If it is private, you can only watch it if the creator allows you to. So you have to share it with that. The only person that can watch it is the people that creator shares it with. So, but again, I almost hate it. But all of my live streams, to be honest, right now, it seems like they get to roughly between 250 and 300 views, and it just stops anyway. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot lost by taking them down anyway. But if it can help my videos get out there and be suggested and all that stuff, then I want to try to do it if I can. This move for me has killed my YouTube channel. I need to get back on posting new videos. Yeah. And we were just talking about that before we went live. Between the Talladega trip, the Nashville trip, and something right before, the giveaway. It started right before the giveaway, because the giveaway took up a little bit of time getting that stuff ready, planning it, and then making sure everything was shipped and everybody got their stuff. And then right after the giveaway, we went to Talladega for a couple of days. Then we went to Nashville for a couple of days. And so it's been a couple of weeks really since I've put out a video, and I can tell it. Just in my analytics stuff, everything is down, down 20%, down 20%. So I got to get some more videos back up. But we'll hit it hard again and get everything back rolling again. But what I want to say to all you guys is I appreciate all your support, all you guys sticking around through all this stuff. And, waiting on new videos, and I appreciate that. That means a lot. So here is the question. If you have your live video playlist as private and create a new live video session and make it public, will it still be seen by your subs or anyone without a link? If you make a video public, it's going to go public. And so Greg would suggest unlisted, not private. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to figure it out too, but I didn't think about it until me and this other guy had that conversation, and then I thought, that makes sense. And Greg, you're right, and I have been guilty of that too before I realized, because. And here's the other thing, and Dogfather, Greg, Rick's Barbecue, all you guys, you can probably relate. When my channel was, and it's still really small, but when I say small, I'm talking about 50 subscribers. I could watch Greg's videos, I could watch Russ's videos, I could watch T. Roy's videos, I could watch all kind of videos. I was binge watching videos all day long, barbecue channels. Now I don't, even with 5,000 subscribers, I don't have time because I want to try to answer. Hi guys and gals, just tuned in. Are you discussing why I couldn't watch Sunday's replay? I may have already cut that one off. Did I cut that one off? I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember if I even tried to do it yet. But I try to answer as many emails and messages as I can. But then I feel bad because I'm not watching other YouTube creators' videos, that have helped me in the past. So when I first started, I would go watch Greg's video. But if I had to answer more emails, I'd give him a thumbs up and leave a comment before the video was over. But like he said, because you're only watching a portion of that video, that hurts your total watch time and your I forget what they call it, but how long they actually stay on their engagement, I guess, of your video. So there's so many things that go on with it. It's almost retention. Thank you. It'll give you a brain cramp trying to figure all of it out. And sometimes I just want to say to heck with it. I'm just going to do my videos and it is what it is. But we put so much time in it now that you've got to try the best you can to get as much as you can out of what you're putting into it. So back in Texas, I used to watch your lives in the morning with a cup of coffee. A little harder for me to do that on the West Coast. Exactly. I try and watch the replays though. Now I know why they aren't there. They still should be there. Harley said that it was still up. So
hey, Elvin,
good to have you tonight, my man. What I miss? I did some flexing at the beginning of the video. Elvin, you need to go back and check that out. It's like in the first 2 minutes of the video. So anyway, enough about the boring YouTube creator stuff, but just want to share that with you guys because I want you to understand why maybe I do some of the things I do. God bless the men and women of the armed forces. We would be lost without you for some chunk coal on your new unit. Man, I appreciate you, Gregor. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Is there a way to send a notification the same as for the live feed that would grant access to the private or unlisted videos. Or really, it would be, at least for me anyway, I would just say, if there's one that you want to watch, just send me an email and I'll just send you the link and you can and you can watch it that way. Again, I'm gonna try to keep them up for about 24 hours just to give everybody opportunity, but so basically you are saying it isn't just me that have noticed that there has been a decrease in views recently. No, it's not just you. And here's the sad part is that by the time we get this part figured out, they'll change something else. And then unless we're up to date with everything, unless we're Daryl Eves, we will be behind again. You know what I mean? So, it's just the way it is, the nature of the beast. But I'm still glad that I get the opportunity to do it and share with all you great people. And could you create an archive on your Jus Piddlin BBQ page or Facebook page? I don't think Facebook would allow that to happen. The big takeaway from Vid Summit is we all need to narrow our niche. Yeah, so, and Greg, I've thought about this some with your channel. Like, and first of all, I'm sure that 99.9% of the people that are on here right now are familiar with Greg's channel. But if you're not, then go to Ballistic Barbecue's page and don't even watch a video. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and because you're gonna subscribe if you watch any of his videos. They're very well done. Right. But Greg, for the most part, is a burger guy. Now he's done other cooks. He's done, you know, just about everything barbecue wise that you can do, he has done. But for the most part, he does burgers on his channel. Now you might say, well, there's only so many ways you can do a burger. Well, he has found just about every way, because I mean, he's done copycat burgers where he takes this well-known burger and tries to recreate it at his own house, and does a great job researching exactly how it's done to try to make it as accurate as possible. Does a great job with that. And so, yeah, I have thought about that. And you were the example that I thought of, because that's your little niche. So I mean, what do you do? I'm the chicken wing man, I'm the butt man. I mean, what do you do,
Butt man.
I mean, there's only so many ways you can cook a pork butt. There's only so many ways you can do. I mean, chicken wings, I guess you could be really creative, but I just don't know. And then I have thought too, that's what all the keynote speakers were preaching. And I have thought about that. I just don't know how to do that. And then the other thing is this. I have tried to broaden my audience, because at first, really all I was doing was pellet grill stuff. And I thought, well, I'm doing pellet grill stuff, but I'm kind of alienating everybody that's not a pellet grill person. which is why I got the pit barrel cooker and the Watchman stove. But then what about the Kamado style guys? So I got the Kamado Joe. But then at the same time, should you just be a one type grill kind of guy? I don't know what the answer is. I've brought that topic up before, and a lot of these guys say, no, we like seeing you use different grills and stuff like that. So, it's kind of hard to figure out what you're supposed to do, really. Look at all of your vids and start pumping out the vids that do best. It's a sad fact, but it's what you have to do. Yeah. And, some of the videos that I have done, I thought some of the videos that I thought were great videos have done nothing. I mean, nothing. And I don't have like a viral video yet that had just went through the roof, but I have some that have, tens of thousands of views. And it's like a smoked hamburger video. The can you grill on a Silverback? And I threw on some burgers and turned it up to 400 degrees and grilled them and flipped them like a regular burger. And that's probably one of my highest deals. I can do some kind of bourbon glazed salmon on a board and 200 people will watch it. I mean, it's like, I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. And it's not just barbecue, because my buddy Fetty with Redneck DIY, we talked about it before. And he says the same thing, that he can't figure it out, that some video that he does, and like he really put a whole lot of effort into it, and showed different angles and does nothing. And then, how to do a miter cut, and he gets 100,000 views or something. So I don't know how to figure it out. I know I have a problem collecting grills. I love the versatility, but man, I'm running out of real estate. Well, so that's one of the things that we're going to do this weekend. I may film it too, just to have something different. Of course, people may not watch it. I don't know. But we have a greenhouse out here, and I'm going to turn that into a barbecue shed, because our back porch we're running out of places to sit back there, basically. So, that's going to be one of our projects this weekend. So I may film that too, just to show you guys what we've got going on there. Gregor says, no, just do what you like and makes you happy. I mean, either way, whatever I decide to do on the channel, I enjoy doing the channel. But what makes me happy is seeing the channel be successful, I like watching you test new products like rubs, sauces, fuel sources, etc. I don't see enough channels where people test products and give you honest reviews and opinions on it. Austin, I appreciate that. And first of all, that's good to know, because I like getting feedback from you guys, because that lets me know what you guys want to watch. You have to be careful with the reviews, though, because of exactly what you said. Let me go back up here a second. Where people test product and give you honest reviews and opinions on it. You have to be careful, because it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the live stream. Sooner or later, people are going to assume that whether you like the product or not, you're going to give it a 2 thumbs up, simply because that company sent it to you. You know what I mean? I have not been that way, because if I get a product and I don't like it, I'm just going to send it back and say no thanks, and it's never going to see the light of day on my channel. I'm not going to dog it out on my channel because that's not what I'm about either. It's just not going to be put on the channel, and I'll say no thanks. So if I tell you I give it a thumbs up, it's because I really like it. It's exactly how I feel about it. But I get it, and I understand that people are just skeptical today, and they have every right to be, because there's a lot of I don't want to say dishonesty, but selfishness, I guess, might be the word.
Both.
Or both, yeah. And so you have to be careful about that. But I do like bringing you guys new products, new rubs, new sauces, stuff like that. The other problem with that, though, is like Dogfather was saying about the grills, I start running out of room in the cabinets for rubs and stuff. I mean, we've got one dedicated cabinet now full of rubs.
But you use all of them.
I use every one of them, yeah. And we're actually
getting low.
Not on rubs, but on sauces.
Oh, yeah.
But
you need to use something with that barbecue sauce we got from the man.
Yeah, well, it's about gone. I need to just make some. Anyway, let's see. Let's see right here. I've thought about that before, but thought, man.
What did somebody said something?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up with some of the comments. Too much product endorsement makes you look like a sellout. And Kurt, that's what I want to avoid sometimes, you know, unless you're pimping your own merch. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's one thing that I can say is, well, again, though, if I were to get a hat in, but then I didn't like it, I'm not going to try to sell it to you guys, you know. So everything so far that we have gotten in that I have put on my website, and I'll be a sellout right here, JusPiddlinBBQ.com. Go get your koozies and your hats and your stickers and your wood signs. But so far, everything that we have gotten in that I have put on my website, I have been totally proud of. I don't think there's anything that we have gotten that we weren't proud of when we put it on there. So I am proud of that. And that's one reason why I wanted to order our own stuff, get it here. I want to package it. I want to mail it. I want to order my own shirts. I want to fill the shirts. I want to wear my shirts. I want to package them. I want to put little personal notes in there and ship them. I want it to be a personal thing, you know, with each one of my customers. I don't want somebody else doing it for me and all that. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that's the way I want to do it, you know. That's one reason why I'm proud of these hats, because the guy that makes these patches lives right down the road. She sews them on. I order the hats.
And we package them.
And we package them and mail them. That's why I'm proud of these hats. It's not I mean, anybody else can order those hats and do whatever they want to with them too, but I'm proud of them just because of that. So I think that's a little more personable, and I think
my little fingers are proud of them.
Yeah, Brandy's going to have knuckle surgery here before long.
On my phones.
Oh man. So let me go back down here and see if I can catch up a little bit. Sorry about that, guys.
Did you see that one?
Do you have a website with recipes? Kurt, that's a good question. I do have a website, but I don't have recipes on them. However, I could start doing that. I could just put a tab on there, put recipes on there. There is an area, I'll have to look at it. But I could probably put a section of recipes on there where you could click in that section and then put it on there, kind of like a little blog. So that's a good idea, and I may try to do that. If I do that, when I get it up, I'll be sure to announce it on the channel.
Right here.
What about going back and cooking things you've cooked before? And that's a good, and I have thought about that because my earlier videos, I think I did some really good, I won't say really good videos. I think I did some really good cooks. The videos just weren't that good because I was new and didn't really know what I was doing. Not that I know what I'm doing now, but I'm a lot more comfortable doing them now.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of those videos probably didn't get the views that I expected just because of the actual video itself, not because of the cook. So I have thought about that, and that's a great idea. And I may start doing some of that because I really feel like some of those cooks are really good. I just maybe could have done the video differently to make it more appealing to watch. So I may end up doing some of that too, because after a while you really start running out of some ideas. And again, and I keep using Greg as an example, but I've lived in El Cajon, California. There's probably not anything that Greg can't get where he's at. I mean, he can probably get briskets, he can get tri-tip, he can get seafood, he can get whatever, probably. I can't. We've got one grocery store here that doesn't go by Kroger or Ingles, or
No.
it's not a name brand. All right, it's like an IGA or something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're familiar with IGAs. So here, now we may be able to get stuff here that Greg can't, like chicken feet, and I'm not kidding, chicken feet with the claws. You can get chicken feet, turkey necks, ox tails, pig tails, all tripe, cow tongue, which I would like to do a cow tongue video. But you get what I'm saying. But it's hard to come up with some ideas, especially when you're limited with the meat that you can get in your area. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Gosh, it jumped so fast. Mike's in the house. Hey, Mike. Right there.
Is that the leather on the front of the hat?
Probably answered it.
Is that leather on the front of the hat? Yes. A guy, I'm going to type it down here. You need to go check this guy out. And when you check him out, tell him Jus Piddlin BBQ sent you. I think it's got an apostrophe in it. It may not.
No, I think it
No.
does.
Forged leather. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's his Instagram. He's got a website as well. He's right here local. He makes my patches. He also makes, like, if you're a music fan, a country music fan, he makes all of Brantley Gilbert's leather cuffs that Brantley wears, and Ryan Weaver and a couple of those guys. Does a lot of fundraising stuff too. Just really good guy. He's got an alter ego that he does as well. That's pretty funny.
He's off the chain.
You'll have to check him out. But really great guy. He can make you just about anything as far as leather goods goes.
Say that again.
No. But does a really good job. So thank you guys for all the suggestions. I really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing what you do with the Nuki. I appreciate that, man. And always enjoy your videos and really just have enjoyed the friendship. That's what it's all about in the beginning. Again, it's not about the stuff. It's not about the grills. It is about the meat, but it's about the relationships with the subscribers, fellow YouTube guys, and all that stuff, you know. So that's what I've enjoyed the most, especially Mike Tabor. Bless him.
Yes, it is hump day. You're
The videos
hour
are
late.
always good. Justin, I appreciate you, man. Fricasseed squirrel. Oh,
Ew.
yeah. Well, they probably got some of that up there at the grocery store. How you doing?
I'm good, Mike. How you doing?
Yeah, he could probably make you some of that too, Kurt.
What?
Where we at?
No,
We have Asian and Mexican markets for that. They got everything out there. I mean, that's one thing I enjoyed about being out there was remember the pizza joint in El Cajon?
Yes, that was
The
amazing.
the brewery.
Mhm.
Greg, there was a pizza joint. Now that was 2016 or when was that?
Let's see, we got married in
14,
14.
15 or 16. Anyway, 4 or 5 years ago, me and Brandy went back out to San Diego. I wanted to take her out there and show her everything, and we went to El Cajon, and there was a new pizza joint right down in the middle of everything, but it was like a craft brewery, urban, yeah, on Magnolia. That place was awesome. That pizza was great,
It was.
and they've got a glass area around the kitchen where you can see them toss the crust and everything, and it had a nice, good chew to the crust and everything. That place was awesome. Loved that place. Great pizza. That was pretty cool. And then we went to Norm's, my old stomping ground there at Norm's, and we saw the guy do the Budweiser and tomato juice.
Yeah.
So I had to try that.
I love pizza like
Pizza is good.
I love pizza.
I gotta admit.
That's one of my favorites. That's been hard doing keto and not eating pizza.
Yeah, and
we could make keto pizza, but it's still not.
Well, I don't care what anybody says. Cauliflower crust is just not the same as regular crust. No. Yeah, so
what is Mike saying?
Tom,
With me on the big screen. Oh, Mike's got his wife. All
right.
Norm's was cool, Harley. I liked it too.
Tom says bud and tomatoes. Yeah, so there was an older guy sitting at the bar, and so he's got a big glass of Budweiser, and the girl brings him a small glass of tomato juice. It was red. I didn't know what it was at the time, and so he drank it, or he drank the first Budweiser, and then she comes back by and says, "You want another?" He says, "Yes," and bring me my tomato juice. So she brings him another Budweiser, a glass of Budweiser, and a glass of tomato juice. And I thought, what in the world is this guy doing? And yes, so it's like a Micheladas, or there's another word for it. But
it looked terrible.
So he drank about that much out of that Budweiser, and then poured that tomato juice into that Budweiser. I thought, what in the world?
And that was his own tomato juice. He had his own
in their refrigerator.
Yeah.
So he was a regular, obviously. And I told Brandy, I said, I got to try that. So I went and asked him, what's the deal? And Clamato. And so he said, yeah, he's always done that, and that's the way he gets some of his vitamins and stuff. And so I said, well, I got to try that. So she poured me one, and I dumped it in there, and it was pretty good. It's not something I've never ordered it again, but it wasn't terrible. So that was pretty cool.
What you were talking about over here.
And then there was a guy sitting next to him that was drinking Coors Light in a glass over ice.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat there the whole time drinking Coors Light over ice. And he said, the guy said, yeah, and I've always done this because he stays in there for a couple hours and then gets up and leaves and drives home. And his idea is that he's drinking water too, so he's staying hydrated and not as drunk, I guess. So, and I wasn't going to argue with him because he was a lot older than I was, and good for him. So that was cool stuff, though. I love it out there. There's just a lot of crazy things that happen out there as well that I don't.
Orange
I
juice
don't
in
like.
your beer. Try it. Oh,
Who said that? Gary?
Yes.
Orange juice in your beer. I've heard of tomato juice. I've heard of hot sauce, and I've heard of salt. I've never heard of orange juice.
Mike, I've missed you tonight.
And go.
Justin,
German's
there's
mixed beer
not
with
too many
7-Up.
things he doesn't love. If they have a crazy name or they look
German's mixed
weird.
beer with 7-Up. I've never heard that either. A Warsteiner with 7-Up. I would try that before I would OJ, I think.
Yeah, orange juice and beer doesn't sound. Not orange juice and vodka, on the other hand.
Like a Shock Top or Blue Moon. Blue Moon's a little weird. I'm not a Blue Moon fan.
No.
Orange juice and
Coke
beer
and
is
beer.
a German Radler. Coke and beer is great also. What in the world, Gary? A Rottler. Well, it says you're weird. For me, anything you can put in beer will make it better. I may try the 7-Up. I don't know about the OJ, man.
Oh,
Used to bartend. Gary. OJ and beer. What do you call that, Gary? OJ and beer. Man, I don't know about that. I'm not a Fat Tire fan. I like craft beers. I like IPAs. But then, especially in the wintertime, summertime, I like IPAs. Wintertime, I like the stouts, the porters. I like a good stout, a good porter. Sam Adams, I like it all the time. A jalapeno cream ale. Now, I have had a jalapeno beer one time, but it was so hot, man, it would light you on fire.
They put it in their homemade Bloody Marys.
Bloody Marys are awesome. Yeah, Harley loves old Sailor Jerry. Stouts and porters year round for me. I like IPAs in the summertime. It gets so hot around here in Georgia. I got to have something with a little citrusy type, refreshing feel to it. In wintertime, I like a good stout or porter though. Bacardi Coke and a twist of lime. I like a twist of lime in anything. I like lime in my beer. Harley, man, I'm telling you. I don't want to be Harvey Wallbanger. All right, guys, we've been on 1 hour and 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get off of here for tonight. I want to thank all you guys for the conversation and the ideas. 24 people still on here in 1 hour and 20 minutes and 24 thumbs up. I mean, that's cool stuff. I want to thank you. Greg, thanks for all your input. Dogfather and all the other YouTubers that were on here. Thank you guys so much as well. Wish the best for all of your channels. Stay tuned for the first cook on the Nuki Gaucho grill, as well as probably, I think we might film a little bit of the barbecue shed build, maybe, if there's not too much profanity being slung while I'm tearing that thing apart and trying to rebuild it. It could happen.
I'm not filming that.
But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. through the good times, the bad times, up and downs. Um, we always seem to have fun in the end, and we really appreciate it. You guys are why we keep doing it. So thank you very much. Have a great have a great rest of the week. I need some OJ and a beer. Good stuff, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good week. And until next time, we'll be piddling. See you.
Good night.
See you, Mike. Harley, be safe.
All right, Mike. He's going to run 10 laps.
Yeah. I want to film that.